of the Austin After Dark Film Festival, as well as the Texas Short Film Festival. Two events which are finishing out the year with a fall season, two very different events, but they have something in common. They got the same director with a film in each. So, Joshua, thank you for joining us. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Let's
I'm
get
glad
into
to be
this.
here.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely.
Well, let's get into this. I want to talk about, let's see, Best Animated Film Award nomination for Austin After Dark Film Festival Fall 2022 for Precipice. Talk to me about this film. What is it about?
Yeah. So Precipice is my first animated short film, and it is a very short and very simple little adventure of a young man trying out his jetpack for the first time. He's on some sort of mysterious alien world and takes a kind of leap of faith, and then ends up flying through a fun adventure of surprises and little twists along the way. So it's a imaginative adventure.
Cool. Well, creatively, why this? I mean, I love science fiction, but creatively, what about you? Why did you create this specific film?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've loved science fiction all my life, and as a storyteller, as a filmmaker, I've always had an interest in creating really expressionistic and imaginative worlds, and taking characters to places and science fiction environments that are difficult to capture in reality and live action filmmaking. I have a background in live action film, done a lot of producing and directing in live action for a number of years. And that gave me eventually a background in visual effects to try to bring to life all the crazy things I was dreaming about. And at a certain point, it just became a question of could we just do it all in the computer? And thanks to new technologies and me learning new skills, I was able to make that leap into a fully animated film. And so Precipice is really my first opportunity to go the distance with telling a story virtually like this, and really cutting straight to what's all the weird things in my head, putting them on the screen, as opposed to trying to mediate that with a camera and with sets and green screens and all that kind of stuff.
All right. Well, talk to me about that technical aspect. I mean, I feel like every film is a little bit of film school. What did you learn on Precipice?
Yeah, so I made Precipice in Unreal Engine, which is a game engine. It's becoming more and more of a film production tool. It's the same software that they're using like on The Mandalorian to do all the cool backgrounds, all the digital backgrounds on that. And some animators are moving into that space using it for animation. What's really cool about it is that as a game engine, it's designed to give you like really beautiful cinematic output in real time. So traditional animation, you're waiting for renders, and what you're seeing on the screen is not what you're going to have at the end of the process, until you go through a lot of computer processing to get those nice photoreal images. But with a game engine, that's all sort of baked in, and you get that much more immediately. So for a live action filmmaker like myself, who loves to do things that are sci-fi and outrageous and things like that, but I just never had the patience for the traditional animation workflow. Unreal gave me the chance to dive in and really just start to very immediately see where my camera was going to be placed, move lights around in this virtual environment, work with characters that look very realistic, but then create a completely computer generated environment and story. So I've been learning that tool over the last several years. For the other film that we'll talk about in a few minutes, To Dwell in Dreams, I used Unreal to create all the backgrounds, and then Precipice was the first chance that I got to use the tool start to finish to animate the whole thing.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, let's talk about your other film, which is going to be in Texas Short Film Festival Fall 2022.
Yeah.
And you got a nomination for Best Science Fiction. You're a man after my own heart, man. All the sci-fi stuff is awesome. So talk to me about that film.
Yeah, so that's To Dwell in Dreams, and it is also a science fiction film that takes us to some pretty crazy environments. It is based on a script from Carissa Fenton, who's a San Antonio native, and she first wrote this story about these two sisters who are connecting in virtual reality. And trying to reconnect with each other, trying to rebuild this relationship that's been kind of on the rocks. And it's difficult because of the virtual environments that they're in, that trying to connect in virtual reality, just something is missing about that. And she wrote it a number of years ago, and we actually shot the film before the pandemic, and it was very much this sort of science fiction story of people connecting virtually and seemed kind of this far distant in the future kind of thing. And then, of course, now last few years, we've had so many opportunities to have this kind of virtual interaction that it feels, I think, far more relevant and contemporary than it did when we first were working on it. And like I said, we also did all the visual effects and the backgrounds for that film in Unreal. So it's live action characters in completely computer generated environments.
Wow. All right. Well, anything different you may have learned on this one versus Precipice?
Well, I mean, the workflow was quite different for To Dwell in Dreams. We had full production. I had a full crew, multiple writers, cinematographer, actors on set, all of that. And then we took a couple of years to go through all the post-production process on it, doing the visual effects, doing the editing. And so it was a very, very long process. And it was the kind of thing that we kept making adjustments. We were always massaging the film, trying to get the story to be just right. By contrast, Precipice was myself, my sound designer, Trey Taylor Smith, and my composer, Brian Lemos. And it was really just the three of us diving in and having fun. And it was all wrapped up within a few months' time. It's a shorter film, but it was always interesting to see kind of the just the time that it takes to do something. Sometimes you can get work done really quickly and really efficiently, and sometimes it's going to balloon into a lot more time and effort. So,
okay, all right, good stuff. Well, what do you got planned for the future?
So I've got another animated short that I'm working on now. It'll be a similar, really small 2 or 3 minute short film. Bringing on some other animators for that one as well, and so we'll be building out that team a bit more. And then I am producing a live action feature with a director that I've worked with for a number of years, Chris Hartwell. And so looking forward to getting that off the ground in the next year or so.
All right, man, you are a busy dude.
It keeps me busy for sure.
Good stuff. Was there anything you want to add before we go?
I'm so thankful to be featured in both these festivals. Thanks to the judges in San Antonio for To Dwell in Dreams and getting the chance to showcase it there. Like I said, the writer is from San Antonio, so I'm really excited to be able to bring the film to the town there, and love being there. Looking forward to being there in person. And then, for the judges at Austin, really thrilled to have my film in the lineup, and excited to see how it plays amongst the other entries.
All right, good stuff, my friend. Well, I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here and to be featured in the festivals.
Yeah, you make us look good, man. This stuff is cool. I think people are. I don't think there's anything quite with the sci-fi animation flavor that you're bringing to either festival. So very, very good job. Very good job.
Thank you.
Make us, people are going to be like, whoa, like there's all kinds of stuff at these festivals. And, we take all the credit while you're sitting there doing all the work. So,
well, it's not much fun making the film if there isn't an audience to show it for. So I'm excited to be able to share it.
I hear you. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
My friend. All right.